As far as production goes, y'all, this is a brand new fig tree. Can y'all see all of the figs in this fig tree? I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
Hey everybody, this is Danny with My Fig Sticks, where fig addiction it's a real thing, y'all. Just embrace it. Join the Figolution. Hey, today I wanted to do a fig tasting, but with a twist. So as I have learned to enjoy figs, as my fig addiction has grown, one of the pieces of that is really learning the history, the origin of all of the different figs that I own or figs that I want to own. So who doesn't love an origin story, right? So I wanted to do a tasting. I have an I-258 fig, an Italian 258 fig here that came ripe today, and I wanted to do a tasting with you all, but I want to give you a little background, a little origin story of the I-258, the Italian 258 fig. Where did it come from and how did it get here? First off, I know I'm supposed to cite my sources on this information, but y'all, honestly, I have way too many sources on this to cite. Basically, I did a search on the internet, said I-258 history, and I got all this information. I'm going to tell you, I've got some notes hidden back here that you probably can't see, but I can't really cite everybody. I read so many articles on this. I don't even remember who all wrote what. But basically, the Italian 258, the I-258 fig, originated in Italy, obviously from the name, but it was part of a study by Dr. Grassi. So the Italian government back in the 80s had started a study trying to enhance the different fig varieties for agricultural growth in southern Italy. Well, sometime in the 80s, an American agricultural attorney named Todd Kennedy went to Italy, apparently visited with Dr. Grassi, and he brought back the Italian 258 fig. Now, here's something that I was getting mixed up on a little bit because I couldn't find a clear definition. But lots of articles said that Dr. Grassi had lost all of his notes on all of this fig study that he was putting on. And so I wasn't sure, did Todd Kennedy give the Italian 258 that name because the notes were lost, or was that the original name? I'm not sure. But all of that is to say that the Italian 258 fig came to California, was brought here by attorney Todd Kennedy sometime in the 80s. Now, the Italian 258 became very popular very quickly, mostly due to its delicious, complex berry/citrus flavor, but it was also very vigorous. Lots of growth, lots of fig production. And so it became a very popular fig in the United States very quickly back in the 80s. Now, here's something else I found interesting, and this is why I brought up the fact was, who actually gave it the name I-258? Was it Todd Kennedy? Was it Dr. Grassi? I don't know, but there are lots of people out there and numerous articles that I read on the Italian 258 saying that it is, in fact, synonymous for the Genevieve Nero. I'm probably butchering that name, but from the growth habits to the flavor habits, the fig looks and feel, everything that I read, the Italian 258 and the Genevieve Nero are the same fig. I cannot tell you if that's true or not, but there were several articles that brought that up. Now, something else that I found interesting was, is it a late ripening fig or is it an early ripening fig? So one article I read said it became popular because it ripened so early. But then another article I read said that it ripened very late. Now, the article that said that it ripened very late was coming out of Michigan. So maybe late and early is all in your perspective. Where are you growing from? I don't know. It is mid-September here, and my I-258 is ripening figs. Now, this is my second I-258. The first one I let hang too long. Y'all, it was one of those one more day, one more day, one more day. Well, eventually one more day turns into one day too many. And the fig fell off. While the flavor was there, it was very good. The skin was very tough. It was like leather. I basically had to just scoop out the center to get the fig out of that, but it was very good. Today, this one I actually picked. It is very, very soft, like a bag of jelly, if you will. So I'm interested to get into this fig and see exactly how it tastes. But before we do that, I'd like to take you outside and show you my I-258 and give you a little history on my tree.
All right, so we're outside now. I'll take you for a little pass down my orchard. It is growing and growing. As you can probably see behind me, I have lots of fig pots to build. These are all of my air layers as well as my lazy dog figs that I got in. So yeah, I'll be working on those coming up. But I wanted to give y'all a little look at my I-258 before we do the taste testing. It's right here behind me. I do have an air layer I'm attempting. I'll talk about that in just a second. But let's take a look at my I-258 and where it came from. This I-258, I got a cutting back the end of December and I rooted that cutting. So all of this growth you're looking at is less than a year. It's absolutely incredible. If you look here, you can actually see the old cutting. The trunk of this tree is swallowing the cutting. It's very impressive how much growth I've gotten out of this I-258, but you notice that it has no lower branching. All of the branching is happening way up here at the top. If you've seen some of my other videos, you can see this thing in the pot. Now I know that the pot's about 2.5 feet off the ground, but in the pot, it's still 7 foot high, probably. So it's way over my head. The air layer is my attempt to basically top this tree and still save all of these figs. As far as production goes, y'all, this is a brand new fig tree. Can y'all see all of the figs in this fig tree? I mean, it's absolutely incredible. That's why I wanted to do an air layer to top this tree, was to hopefully be able to save all of those figs. But it's got another fig here that is coming ripe. It's close. It's not quite ready. Maybe another day. I'm checking on that a lot more than I was with the first one. I don't want this one to sit too long, but this is my I-258. And again, the air layer is in hopes of topping this tree and saving all of the figs. But I'm excited about this I-258. This is my origin story. This is how much this tree has grown in only, what, 8, 9 months. Rooted the end of December, first part of January, and holy moly, look at the size of this thing.
Okay, we are back inside. This is what y'all came for, the taste test, the reveal. Let's do a weight first. I do have this set in. Oh, no, I don't. Let's change it. It's in ounces. We don't want to do ounces. Let's change it to grams. Now we're in grams. I have that zeroed out. So this is the I-258. Quick look. It is a dark purple on the exterior. Very, very small eye. Hopefully you guys can all see that, but very closed eye. It does have an ant on it. How about that? So that ant is no longer. But let's get a weight on it. So we're only looking at 29 grams. So I would call that a small medium fig. I think what I read is eventually once these get to maturity, the tree gets to maturity, that these figs will be a little bit larger. They'll be more of a medium large type fig. Okay, so now we have the weight. We have seen the exterior. Let's take a look at what the inside reveals. All right, y'all, I've not done a whole lot of these videos, so let me get over here. I'm going to go ahead and cut the top out of this. Y'all, I'm left-handed, and so that is opposite of what the camera is. So right now it's feeling very, very soft and gushy. I'm encouraged by that. So let's cut it in half. So I think I told you the first one that I had, I let hang too long and the skin just turned to leather. This one does not feel as if it's going to be that way. So there we have the inside. I'm hoping that that focuses in for y'all. Very dark. I'm not sure I would call that amber. Just a very dark berry look. Not real juicy. So I read that it was going to be a juicy fig. Not seeing the juicy. Now, again, we talked about this a few minutes ago, but this is a first year fig. It's not even a year old. So I don't know that the maturity is there. So let's go ahead and we'll cut this in half. And I don't have the figologist sound of song that he uses, so you're gonna have to hear me smack. But here we go. Here's a taste test. Italian 258. This is only the second fig that I've gotten off of this tree. It is a first year tree, only a few months old. So let's give it a try. Okay. It is very, very good. It does have a seed crunch. Definitely got a crunch to it. The flavor is definitely berry. I'm not getting a lot of sweetness. Is that because it's a first year fig? I don't know. I don't have a Brix meter to tell me what the sugar content is. But to be honest with you, it's very good. I'm going to try a different bite. Yeah, it's very, very good. Definitely a berry. I'm not getting strawberry at all. I would just say mixed berry. I don't get a full strawberry. I don't get an individual type berry, but it is very, very good. It is sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's not Texas Everbearing sweet. I really like this. I'm very encouraged with the flavor profile of this as a brand new fig, as this is only the second fig. I will tell you, this does taste identical to the very first fig that came off of this. The good thing is that the skin is not like eating cowhide. This one I did not let hang too long. I think the ripeness is really perfect. I wish I had a Brix meter so that I could tell you the sugar content, but I don't. One thing I'm learning from the Brix meters is, yeah, it'll tell you the sugar content, but honestly, I don't know how much that translates into the flavor of the fig. But let's wrap this up here. This is an Italian 258. I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. I think for a fig that is not even a year old, it is in a container, that this fig is delicious. Again, it is not as sweet as my Texas Everbearing figs have been, but it is very berry. I can't even fully tell you the berry that it is. There's so many berries in there that I can't distinguish right now between this berry or that berry, but it is delicious. I think hopefully in time, as I get a chance to taste more and more and more figs, that I will be able to kind of pull out the different notes. To me, I heard somebody in another fig tasting, or maybe I read it in an article, and they related a fig to a wine. I think that's a good comparison here, because I get a fruity Pinot Noir type flavor out of this fig. I think it's delicious. First year fig, y'all, I'm super excited. I'm going to close it out right there. Delicious fig, Italian 258. I hope that you enjoyed the history lesson. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my Italian 258 origin story, if you will, just coming in from this year's cutting. Y'all, I know now why everyone raves over the Italian 258. Or is it a Genevieve Nero? We may never know. Hey y'all, welcome to My Fig Sticks, where fig addiction is a real thing. Embrace the addiction. Join the Figolution, y'all. Thanks for watching.